Hello YouTube, this is that BMX guy, or Carl. This is going to be a video about my white computer build for 2023 and 2024. It's technically finished in 2024, but I did start it in 2023. It'll start off with this white case. It has you can't tell by the box, but it's a white case with a case window on the side. This is black. The inside's black. I'll show you that later on in the video. But actually it came with two addressable red, green, blue fans. And since like the case has like a header, I ended up buying 3 Thermalright fans plus the Thermalright addressable white, green, or red, green, blue Peerless Assassin 120 SC. So I got most of that to match immediately. A lot of these are later amendments to the system. So the power supply I went with was this RM850x by Corsair. It has a side area where you mount the cables. And for the most part, the one that needs to terminate the video card cable, it does. So I was pretty happy with this as a purchase. The motherboard we're actually using is this Asrock B550M Pro SC, and it's actually a white PCB motherboard, AM4. The CPU we're using actually is a Ryzen 7 5700X. Now originally I bought this guy, which is a Ryzen 7 3700X. The 5700Xs are going for less than $200, so I ended up getting one of them anyway. This was the original plan. It's an okay processor, but this was like the minimum processor you can technically use with this board, you know, a 3000 series. So I originally wanted to do a 2700 Pro in it, just like I did with some other systems. So the CPU is complemented with the Peerless Assassin, obviously. The RAM I'm using is this guy, Vengeance 32 gigabytes. Right. And the drive I'm going to be using is one of these 9800 or 980 Pro M2s by Samsung, and they're 1 terabyte. The heatsink for it is one of these Bequiet MC1s. And the video card, last but not least, will be one of these. This is an Asus Dual Geforce RTX 4070. It has 12 gigabytes, just like my other ones I have, and I'll show a video of that soon. But yeah, it just has a white PCB, well, a white backplate, white shroud, and white fans, so it kind of matches. Anyway, let's just start with showing off at least the video card, and then I'll show you it assembled, because yeah, how many times you guys see it assembled or show and tell of everything. So here we have the whole thing ready to go. It's just a shell at the moment. We have the Thermalright addressable RGB fan heatsink. I think it's called the Peerless Assassin 120 still. These are all the same basic fans that has on it. All these other ones. And they were like $13 for all 3 of those guys. This is how the fans sit stock after you buy it. They're 2 Thermaltake fans. They have their own wire. It's a little tiny ribbon. And it hooks to the fan header on the back. Both of them. They're kind of proprietary fans. You can't find them anywhere. And you can actually use 3 fans in the front if you want. So there's definitely enough room for 3. So here we have the back of the case. As you see, there's a lot of wires everywhere. We have addressable light wires coming from all these fans, all collecting into this pile to there. This is the header controller. They hook the reset switch of this case to change the lights to different formats. Now this motherboard is kind of neat because it actually has bias settings to change it to, but I'm not going to go into that because I don't really want to go into that. But the side loader power supply is all connected up. I'm trying to make you be able to see it. Over this way, we'll just flip it. So the power supply I have in there is a side loading power supply. So all the power connectors are right here, right where you can easily get them, instead of them being down there. You still gotta figure out what to do with your wires. This is the fan header. You can technically hook every fan to this header. You got the two headers for the two front fans. You even got additional dummy load connectors in case you wanted to hook two more of those fans, but I don't know where you get those fans. I was looking, I couldn't find them. The three Thermalright fans, they have their wires right here for the most part. These are the two power supply, or not the power supply, the CPU cooler. So the CPU PWM wires go to the header on the motherboard, but these two go to this chain of addressable RGB wires to eventually get to this. So they all these can be addressed with just this one button at the top of the case. And I'm not really that finicky about it, but I guess you could also hook other things like LED strips. This is actually the header right here that goes to the motherboard that hooks to this thing. This is if you need to hook it to something else, and this is if you wanted to hook the fans to it. Now I don't hook the fans to it because these three fans are different speed. So these two have their own speeds, and these two, or these three, have their speed. Then the CPU fans obviously have their PWM speeds too. These are like the wires that go to, like, you know, the top panel, and even like the power cable to the motherboard is right here, and then the other one that goes to the top is right there. So yeah, the underneath is the same as any other case. Lately they just have a filter screen that kind of keeps the power supply from taking crap into it. It does eventually get dirty, and yeah. The rear of the case is not really eventful. I didn't actually cut this out, I kind of left it. I normally would cut it out and put an oven grill on there. Video card, we're using actually HDMI at the apartment, so we have that ready. This is locked on. Got the two removable plates and the power supply just sits like that. The I/O shield of the B550M Pro SC obviously doesn't have, you know, USB-C, but it has plenty of USB 3.0s. Still has two of those 2.0 ones, 2.5 gig LAN, right? Then the audio ports that I won't be using because, well, I use the TV. It does have a display port HDMI if you run a G processor. So this is what the top looks like. So this is just a filter, magnetized. Two fans blow into it. You can use two 240s if you want to, or 140s. Right here we have two USB 3.0 ports, a 2.0 port still, and microphone and audio jack. You have your power light, your drive reading light, the reset button that can either reset the computer or it changes the lights. And then we have the power button. Here we have the front panel off. There's actually a screen inside, so it filters it a little bit. I do have to clean it, and you just have to pop it off every time. As you see, what I don't like is that like these plastic shrouds just disintegrate after a while. Like you see how that's pushed in. Got the badge on there, Ryzen 7 badge. And it just snaps on. Now I kind of wish they were more like a door, but yeah, not too easy to get on. Where is it? Oh. Yeah, so that's how it looks assembled. It's very dark inside. It looks like it's kind of, I don't know, you just see the video card and the fans and that's it. The motherboard is white. Does it need to be white? I don't know. Okay, so here it is all assembled. So it's like a kind of like Ames window kind of setup, or Escher kind of look. So it has a glass panel. That's just this part. I kept the glass protector on there because I'm not really, I'll just leave it like that until I feel good. This right here actually is another air intake or grill that comes right off like so. And you can see inside that it has this same thing as on the top, a mesh magnetic strip piece you can clean every so often if you have to. Most people obviously don't know those, but yeah. So this is what it looks like inside. So we have the two fans that are in front, the top ones, the back exhaust. So these all exhaust. These bring it in, these all bring it out. Just so happens they're all Thermalright fans, just like the fans on the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 SE. The 4070 kind of matches everything too, and everything else is black in there. Now the motherboard is white, but you can barely tell it's in there, at least the way it is at the moment. So let's see what it looks like powered on with default settings. So as you see, it's very bright. So most of them are kind of synchronized, but if you look at those three, they're definitely all online. Top ones are facing a different way, so yeah, what's it look like with the lights off? It's very bright. So this is the, I guess this is just the basic rainbow colors, but you do it again, it changes to an orange to green spectrum. And it goes to white, purple, and then back to yellow and green. Next setting, it's orange to green, some cyan, some white, it's purple, then the red, orange again. Next setting is, I guess this is called the sonar setting, so this is red with the sonar. That's supposed to be yellow, but it's more like light green. It might look yellow on there, but to me it looks green. Push it again, that's green. And then cyan, blue, white, purple, and then back to a rainbow, but this time it's rainbow with flashing. So this is like the flashing profiles. Flashing red, flashing yellowish green, flashing green, flashing cyan, flashing blue, flashing white, flashing purple, and then we go back to the rainbow colors and solid rainbows where they're just one solid color. Red, yellow screen again, green, cyan, blue, white, purple, and then dark. And then back to that. So that gives you all the colors that it does. And with the bias, you can actually customize that. So if I switch it over to the other thing, I just hold this down 3 seconds, and I have it set to that orange color. So I kind of like the orange more because it kind of looks like the tough gaming color. And let me get this out of the stand. Kind of see inside of it better. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. I have the fan profiles that go a certain speed, so get the idea. Anyway, well, let's take a look at what the cover looks like. Where is the cover? Get that cover on there. I think the problem is the cover kind of covers up everything. That's hard to do. So let's get that on there. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Yeah, so it kind of covers the whole shroud on the bottom anyway, but the part that's open right here, you still see that. Unless you're like here, where you don't really see down there. But this is the color theme I like, so if you don't like it, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I guess that's system build. Well, anyway, this is that being Guy or Carl, and thanks for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, if you think it's just mumbling or whatever, because some people just can't put their volume up, you can also, instead of just like complaining, you can just ask a question: how'd you do that, or why is it like that? Or if you have any questions about the bias of this Asrock B550M Pro SE, then ask and I'll show. Right now, all these fans are this color with the bias. I did not use any software in the operating system. If you actually don't need to use the bias, or if it was a different motherboard, I'll just hold on it 3 seconds. It would default to these colors, right? Which aren't too bad either. I mean, they're a lot more colorful. But anyway, yeah, this is that Guy, and thanks for watching.